G'day everybody, it's Master Yodi here and I hope you guys are all doing well. The title of today's video is called My Dating in the Dark Moments. For those of you not familiar with the reality TV show Dating in the Dark, what it is, it's a, I don't know what you'd call it, a reality TV show slash social experiment. It's where they get a group of men and women to interact with each other in the dark. They later then turn on the lights so that the women can see who they were actually interacting with, and yeah, some of the reactions were quite interesting to say the least. There was a UK edition, there was a US one. I don't think there was an Australian one, but I definitely know there was a UK one and US one. Yeah, it's quite fascinating. With the UK one, I remember there was one episode where this woman, quite attractive lady, she was interacting with this guy, this gentleman in the dark, and the guy, when they showed him, he wasn't a particularly good-looking guy. No homo here. I suppose you could call him slightly below average looking. He wasn't hideous, but he wasn't particularly attractive either from a woman's point of view. And when they turned the light, and during the interaction, yeah, they really, it appeared they were forming a connection. And this guy, although he wasn't particularly attractive physically, he knew how to talk to girls. You know, he could flirt with them, and you know, he really knew how to talk to women. He had game, if that's what it means, and he knew how to talk to women. And the woman that he was interacting with was getting turned on. She goes, "Oh, can you feel the chemistry?" And but then they turned the lights on. They did a face reveal, and when the woman saw the guy, she did a full 180 on him. She made fun of the guy. She really put him down. What did she say? Oh, he looks like a cross between Shrek and Bob the Builder. I mean, then she says, "Oh, he'll never get a girl like me," which I thought was a pretty arrogant thing to say. Okay, if she wasn't attracted to the guy physically, she could have just said, "Look, you know, he was nice to talk to. He knows how to talk to women, but he's just not my type physically. I wish him all the best." But no, she had to humiliate the guy and put him down just because of the way he looked. Nothing wrong with his social skills. His social skills were great. As I said before, he knew how to flirt with this woman. He knew how to talk to her. And it happened to a few other guys as well, although they were a little bit better looking. And you know, they were interacting with these ladies. They knew how to talk to these women. They knew how to flirt with them. And yeah, they had good social skills. They knew how to talk to women, the right way to talk to a woman. And but when the lights came on, when the woman didn't like what she saw, they just did full 180s on these guys. You know, they nitpicked everything about his looks. Yeah, but you know, in spite of the fact the guy had a good personality and had good social and conversational skills. The thing is, the same thing's happened to me. No, don't get me wrong. I haven't appeared on a TV show, but I'll give you a few examples where it's happened to me. Probably the most notable one was back in July of 1999. I met this Irish lady through the Lonely Hearts column of one of our major tabloid newspapers here. I think it's called the Daily Telegraph or Daily Mirror. Yeah, put an ad in the paper and she responded to it. And I was talking to her over the phone, and we were talking for a good solid hour or so. Yeah, she liked the sound of my voice. She liked everything that I liked, and I thought I was forming a real connection here. You know, when I end up meeting her, something could come of it. So as I said before, yeah, we know over the phone, we got along famously. She liked my voice. She liked everything I liked, until she met me in person, and then she didn't like what she saw, and she did the biggest 180 on me. And for the miserable hour and a half that I spent with her, all she could do was complain about how her ex-husband was an alcoholic, and that he was no good in bed. Now, look, I don't solicit that kind of information. Like, when I'm chatting up a young lady that I'm interested in, I want to keep it happy and positive. You know, I don't say to women, "Oh, excuse me, can you tell me about all the shit experiences you've had with men?" Nobody wants to hear that. Okay, look, if people have had bad relationships in the past, I sympathise. It's terrible when that happens. No one deserves that, but it's just a fact of life. But if you've been in a bad relationship, okay, obviously break up with a person, but at some point in time, you've got to move on with your life, get on with your life. But no, for the miserable 90 minutes, all this woman could do was talk about her her alcoholic ex-husband who was no good in bed. And once again, I don't solicit that kind of information. I was trying to change the topic and talk about happy stuff, like how she liked to have fun, what her hobbies and interests were. But no, I think she was doing that to get rid of me. One little game that women like to play with men, if they don't like a particular guy, to get rid of him, what they'll do, they'll just become the biggest ball buster and pain in the ass. And I think that's what she was doing. Silly me, I was too nice. I mean, I could tell that the date was going bad. It was a blind date. I spoke to her on the phone previously, but she didn't know what I looked like until she met me. We actually met at a coffee shop here in Sydney. Yeah, when she met me, she did a big 180 on me. All of a sudden, she hated everything that I liked, which I'm saying to myself, well, hang on a minute, over the phone, she liked everything I liked. But as soon as she saw me, yeah, she did the biggest 180 on me. So there's one dating in the dark moment for me. Well, it's another one. Yeah, probably the blind date that led to me completely giving up on dating back in September of 2012. And once again, I met this lady through the Lonely Hearts column of our major tabloid newspaper here in Sydney, the Daily Telegraph. Over the phone, once again, she liked my voice, and we seemed to be forming a real connection. Now, this lady lied about her age. She said she was in her 40s, but she was actually in her 50s. But that didn't bother me because I do prefer older women. And she still looked good for her age. When I actually met her, she had a great body. Smoking hot body. Still a very attractive woman. I was 43, about to be 44. So yeah, when we met, now in this particular case, I wouldn't say this lady did a full 180 on me like the Irish woman did back in 1999. I mean, she bought me a drink, I bought her one. She was, I suppose she tolerated me, and she was reasonably polite. Like, she wasn't rude to me. I'm being fair here, but I could tell there was no attraction, and basically the date fizzled out. And I met her about 6:30, and we talked maybe for 2-3 hours max. And about 8:30, 9:30, yeah, I could tell the date was going bad, and she rejects me with this line. She goes, "You're too quiet for me. I'm looking for a party animal." This is from a woman on the wrong side of 50. Now, I didn't get angry with her. I mean, I just politely shook her hand and said, "Look, thank you for coming. I wish you the best." And walked out. To completely ruin my night. But as the old saying goes, shit happens. So there's another dating in the dark moment for me. Where's another one? I don't know if you'd call this another dating in the dark moment. But back in the late 80s, I was working in the admin area of a life insurance and superannuation company, and I was talking to this lady who worked at one of our other offices. The company I worked for, they had branches throughout the state, and I was talking to this lady over the phone, and I wasn't trying to hit on her, but we were having a bit of small talk, and she really liked the sound of my voice. She said I had a sexy voice. Well, I don't think I do, but she said she did, and we seemed to be forming a connection over the phone until she saw me in real life. Now, look, she was still polite to me, but not as polite to me as she was on the phone. No, once again, she was not rude to me, but she wasn't as polite to me as to when she was talking to me on the phone. They're my dating in the dark moments. Look, you can have the best conversational and social skills in the world, but if you don't pass that looks test, it means nothing. And we'll do a 180. I mean, you could talk to a woman over the phone, you can have a great conversation, and you think you could be forming a connection until she sees your face. And if she doesn't like what she sees, she'll do a massive 180 on you. Yeah. But anyway, guys, that's all to say on the topic. Thank you very much for listening to my video. If you'd like to leave your likes, comment, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon. You guys have a great day. Bye for now.